December 5th, 1983.
To get some recognition for what they've done. I think for some of you people who do not know the instructional staff, it would probably be a good idea to let you know who they are. Gentleman right here who graduated from Methuen High School, 76. He's probably one of the most talented gentlemen we ever had come out of this program. He has a bachelor's degree from the University of Lowell and master's degree from Boston University. I don't mind instructor Jim Latini. Carolyn, next young lady here, took a position in our music department this year doing the 6th grade band at Taney Middle School in elementary general music and elementary instrumental. And fortunately, very versed in marching band, and we finally picked up an instructor that can help out. Carolyn was the drum major at the University of Lowell for a couple of years, twirled the rifle for a couple of years, has helped me out with marching and maneuvering, and has helped Nancy out with color guard Carolyn Donaldson. And any of you who have been to Banquets before, next young lady has worked with us for quite a few years now and has done a super job with the color guard Nancy Solomon. And in case people don't know some of the other people around here at the far end, Assistant Principal Art Nicholson. Down here to Boston's wife, Dr. and Mrs. Adanowitz. Chairman of the school committee, Greg LaRue. And school committee member and Mrs. Joe Salvo.
The Florida trip, and they were in there for a while, but we just had too many images and not enough time. So to all of those of you who took pictures on the Florida trip, thank you to everyone too.
Strictly in fun, and they were very carefully thought out, not to embarrass anybody. They're just funny things. And I found that I've already forgot one. I left it at home before I left. So I'm going to talk about it for a second. I guess the scariest, the most difficult competition we were in this year was when we went to Triton Academy. And that competition, I believe, had 8 bands or 9 bands in Class B. And when the competition was over, it was distinctly 3 bands pulled away from everybody else. And those bands were Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Bill Ricker, and us. And that was the order that it came in. Portsmouth was 1, Bill Ricker was 2, and we were 3. And I was very, very proud of that. Now, there were a couple of things that happened at that competition. The first thing, and I was supposed to bring a pipe cleaner with me, but I forgot. The first thing was that here we are getting all lined up, getting ready to go on, and I went down on the field because everybody knows you have to exit the right way, you have to go on the right way, you have to come off the right way, or you get penalized. You can't go beyond this point or that point. So I'm checking out the field. And Gray Whipple comes up to me and says, "Oh, you won't believe this. We got one baritone mouthpiece, it's all plugged up." And of course, my typical comment is, how the hell can we get a baritone mouthpiece plugged up before we're going on the field? We're going on the field in about 3 minutes. Well, the guy decided that he was going to clean out his mouthpiece and took a tissue and stuck it in it, and it was all already up. So the correct way to clean out a mouthpiece is to get a pipe cleaner. So John Kelly, I will bring the pipe cleaner to school tomorrow. I guess our next, at the same competition, now we had gone to Norwood, we came in 3rd at Norwood, and I really thought we should have been higher there, but you know, you take what you can get and you run. At the second competition, it was a much more difficult competition than Triton, and I said, the first competition, you know, a lot of people hadn't marched before, they were nervous, they didn't take command of the field. And this is where the seniors came in. I always make a statement. When you get on the field, I said, the last thing I want you people to be is arrogant and conceited. But when you get on a football field, you have to tear up the 50-yard line and put it in your back pocket, and you own the field. Well, that week in the band room, somebody wrote on a board, "We own the field." And you better believe it. Well, we went out, and again, I was out casing out the field, and my buddy Matt Machera was doing my job for me, getting everybody all straightened out, getting everybody all psyched up. And he did, and he served as the band cheerleader. He really did a good job of it. So Matt, you want to come up here, please? Now every cheerleader needs excuse me, Matt, you going someplace, Smith? He also always does a skit. This guy is a real funny guy, and he always does a skit about the Italian mafia and the whole bit. Okay? I'm not getting in trouble with you, know, am I? No. Because I'm gonna get you one of these too. Okay? The thing is, I can get away with that because my wife's Italian from Rhode Island. I mean, that's what this, I gotta tell you, my wife found this. It's International Order of the Mafia, members in good standing. Now, if you've ever been more practiced, you'll know that the 99% of the show goes what they call across the grain. You're not going with the arch stripes, you got to go against the arch stripes. Now, if everything, you know, during the summer I go crazy drawing all these little circles on graph paper, and when you get on the field, it's all supposed to work. But what happens, people have to take the right side step. We march it, you can either march it 8 to 5, 7 to 5, or 6 to 5. We march 8 to 5, which is a 22.5-inch step. And we do this exercise back and forth. You know, you'll see the band walking down the line, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, line, 1, 2, 3, down the field. You say, what are they doing? Getting on step. Now, we got the step down fairly well, except when the tempo gets slower. Now, when the tempo gets slower, you naturally want to take a bigger step. So I today made I'm going to patent this. Okay? Wrong prop. I have made the Dave Isidore instant 8 to 5 line. Now what you do is you put your foot in here, you put your other foot in there. Okay. And when you take a step, there's your 20. I measured it till it comes out perfect. 22.5 inches. Now, the question is, who gets this? Now, I got to tell you that it's very difficult. No, seriously, it's very difficult to march at a slow tempo and do a 22.5-inch step. And we have one young lady that has done a super job for us. You're all safe over there, I think. One young lady that does a super job for us, except when the tempo is slow, she takes these humongous steps. Okay? Can George? Every year, we always have a crazy situation. You know, somebody will split their pants before a performance. We didn't have any of that this year. But we lost one young lady for, I believe, 2 performances because her brother and her were playing How Close Can You Throw the Knife to My Foot? The problem is that her brother missed, put the knife in her foot, and she was out for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, couldn't march. Now, this is great. Plastic, okay. You can't get hurt. Tracy's the racket. Okay, we got two more. I went to great pain to get this. It can really come in handy. Now we have, I was really concerned about one young lady. She got hit once, she was twirling a rifle. She got hit once in the head. One time she threw the rifle off and it came down and it hit her right in the bridge of the nose and she had two shiners. And I was really concerned about it. We went over to the training, got ice and everything. I was concerned of one time that she had broken her nose and the other time she was a little dizzy and I was worried about her. So this is, I think she's graduating this year, I'm not absolutely sure, but in case she isn't, it can come in handy next year, and if she is graduating, she can pass it on to any new rifle people coming in. Now this is a Methuen High School special prop that they use in the senior class play. It's not the real thing, but it can deaden the impact. Lisa Rapovian? Okay, we have one more. This I got today. It's the best I could do. It's night all, and it's not exactly what I wanted. But anyone knows that if you're in a marching band and you're in competition, you have to keep your cool at all times. Anything can happen. One competition, they shut off their gun too soon, and we have the time, and we were about 15 seconds to play with, that's all. And people have to adjust, and people really do a good job of this. Now, the last competition we went to, it was a nice way to end the thing off. And, of course, they announced top music, Methuen High School. Top drum line, Methuen High School. So Debbie is going out, and Kim is going out. Okay, what's left? Color guard. Well, I want to save that one for last. Top drum major, Methuen High School. Now we got color guard. Now we're wondering what we're going to do with this. Now Susan Rackens in the three-point stance, ready to go out there. She can't get out there fast enough. So they called color guard Methuen High School. And being the cool, used to this pressure, she just dashed right out there. So what we did is the next time, in case you're under a pressure situation like that, you take these the day before night all, and you'll be kind of dazed, so you'll be cool and relaxed. Susan? Say it sincerely that we had a fantastic group of seniors this year. Now what we did is we took some pictures and I made some enlargements up at the graphic arts last week and this week. And every senior is going to get this picture here, which is every senior in the band. And also a certificate, Methuen High School certificate, and hopefully they'll look back on us in 200 years and they'll remember what they did. Really, I really do, and I really do honestly have to compliment these young ladies and gentlemen because it's really been a good group this year. I'll just read them off. Now, there's one senior that does not have a picture here because she was absent that day, but I have found another one of that particular young lady, and I promise you that I will make one up for you, okay? All right, Margaret, the city of Kono. Trumpet. Kathy Cullum, trumpet. Percussion, Paul Sear. By the way, don't get upset. These pictures have got to be trimmed yet. I just didn't have a chance to trim them. Okay, so we just go over 8 by 10. They'll fit in 8 by 10 trim. Percussion, Paul DiPetrolo.
Don't stop, come on.
Drum major, Debbie Fernando. Percussion, Mark Hertwig. Saxophone, Brenda Hughes. Clarinet, excuse me, Linda Keys. Percussion, Matt Machara. I'll tell you, I'm really going to miss the patrol line this year. Really. Trumpet, Randy McCrillis. Trumpet, signed arrival. Trumpet, Tim Sipsey. Color guide, Kim George. Color guard, Lisa Apollyon.
Yeah, senior. Give me my helmet back.
I know what I did. I got the names mixed up. I see the one I forgot over there. First, I don't think it's in here. But I want you to come up anyway. Let me make sure. Would you believe I made another mistake? Christopher, come on up. Katie Land. Rifle Captain Michelle Davenport. Okay, and first year drum major, who will be the head honcho next year, Kim Oliver. Two mistakes. I'm glad I made extra pitches. Who we thought did a good job. We're constantly fighting to get the young ladies in particular to look arrogant, and that really is a problem. And you really got to toughen them up. You really do. And two people handled that very, very well. One of them I have a picture of. The other one, we never caught that picture, but this will kind of, you probably won't be able to see it. This will kind of give you an idea of what that looks like. And she really did an outstanding job. Paula Geary? And Dina Cole. Okay, we got a couple of soloists, and we got most of them. And we're still playing games with pitches, but these are the best we can do at present. We had the trumpet solo that you saw on the film with Kathy and a cohort there. Huh? Come on, guys. And again, the two mellophones that you saw in the film, Jill. Okay. Mr. Farrell. Now, the way we came up with this is the instructors and I, we get together, we look at some films, and Mr. Bachman videotaped every single halftime and competition. And what we did is we go back, the first day after a football game or a competition, the next battle rehearsal following that, we go back and we look at videotapes. This is wrong, that's wrong, the interval is wrong here. When we were going through the state evaluation, there was a woman from the State Board of Ed that went down to the band room, and she was watching us go over the videotapes and stop the videotape, move it back, see this here, move it forward, see this here. She was amazed. She couldn't believe that we were doing that type of stuff. We really spent a lot of time looking at videotapes, getting our performance better, and we came out with the outstanding color guard member, Diane Wolcott. With two outstanding marches this year. It was between about 4 people. We managed to whittle it down to 2, and we couldn't decide between the last 2, and one happened to be a boy and one happened to be a girl, so we gave one to each. The gentleman, Rafael Bueno. And the young lady, Margaret, City of Como. Rich Perry. Most improved band member. You know how scary it is coming in here as a freshman. A lot of the people will tell you the first year nobody has any idea what they're doing. You tell them to mark time 16, go forward 32, hit an oblique for 16, do a wheel turn at 8, and they look at you like, you know. Okay, Tim Ladd. Okay, the young lady that did such a fine job for us, ran a complete show, every competition, every football game, senior drum major, Debbie Fenari. One more. Every year, we talk about the banquet. And I ask for the members of the ensemble to pick a student that they feel is the outstanding student in the band. Now, what I try to do is try not to make it a popularity contest. And I think ever since we've been doing this, it hasn't come out that way. I asked them to not necessarily look at a first-year player, not necessarily look at an upperclassman, but to look at how they play. Are they playing to their potential? Somebody could be playing a 156-chair triangle and be giving you all they got. They could not act proper way all the time. All these things come into it. The band this year, outstanding band member, Tim Simpson.
Jim with a little something that's hopefully a lot of appreciation for a good year for the drum line. So he's always hanging out at Bishop's.